Welcome back to Grandmaster Battle Royale. Now we're at the start of a very new season, and we're testing a very new map named after some of the participants and, well, spectators of these matches so far. This is an unofficial match, as in we're testing out the map. There's still prizes, there's still drama, there's still glory. All these players, mostly, well, we have WCS qualifiers, Grandmasters. Grandmaster isn't opened up this season. That's why. Before you get your comments in, or just get the comments in anyways and look dumb, but that's okay. That's what comments are for. But we're on Riser's Winter Wonderland, named after the first winner of Grandmaster Battle Royale, and named after myself as an egotistical bastard. Let me introduce you to our challengers. Starting in the bottom left, Deku as Terran. Aspect, the Green Zerg. Riser on his home turf and a one-time winner. Already the diplomacy begins. And then right next to him, Rise, making things confusing. Gemini from Scythe Esports. Psystorm Gaming's Ruff, who qualified for WCS over M Canning in the previous season, with some very dirty and fun Terran matches, depending on your opinion. And the man who first seemed to be kind of annoying, but then won everyone's hearts with his valiant efforts, from Black Knight Gaming. It's Eggs. And Black Sheep is next to him. So, this is my map, says Riser. The rules! There is no coordination allowed. They're not allowed to be on voice chat, no PMs, or anything, or you're disqualified from further matches and winning anything. All diplomacy must be in the chat. So what is going on? May the best diplomacy in. On that note, Riser ally. Gemini thinks Season 8 of Game of Thrones is good. Firing shots off the bat. I'll give wheat to anyone who teams with me. Okay. Riser is pointing out it is literally named after him by RQM. It's escaping me. He's had several maps on the ladder before. You've definitely played on them if you played ladder in the last couple years. But he was kind enough. So, it's Winter Wonderland, so we have a winter theme, but the map is also designed to have a minimum of, like, extra doodads and fancy effects. So that way, when we have 4 players battling with 200 supply, everyone's potato computer can handle it. It's me! It's-a-me, the Black Sheep! But not really understanding the situation. Has anybody... Is this going to be First Blood? The probe goes down. Black Sheep lose a probe to Deku. So, this map was specifically designed with these Grandmasters in mind. The minerals are the same as a Legacy of the Void map, which means they mine out pretty quick. Usually, if you have a full saturation, you mine out of your main base around the 8-minute mark. And then each base from there takes about 6 minutes, because usually you have more workers. Assuming you're allowed to continually mine it. But so far, what a place to put that Dark Shrine. The production tab is almost impossibly hard to follow. I usually just like putting up active forces. Pointless to scout me. Don't know what I am doing. At least he's honest. We got some Zerglings coming in. Gemini. It is kind of a rarity. Eggs has been our most accomplished and regular Zerg player. But we've had Zerg players in the past. Jim Rising comes to mind. Oh, wait, whoa. That's all that separates these players? Just a single set of rocks? Or debris? Uh-oh. Well, so it takes a little while, but I hope my computer can handle this. Ruff still playing on his Windows 98. Actually, no. Usually he plays on his Macintosh. And he runs the iCheese OS Okay, we could have just gone with IBM, but whatever. So, Riser, on his home turf, saw this coming for sure, but he's getting bailing busted. Oracle comes in. How many units will... Really? Well, DTs are in his base. That is true. Unfortunately for Riser, it looks like he's going to be losing a lot of his probes. Does he have any other units? He went double Stargate. That was optimistic. Looks like he will be evicted. He may be actually our first player to go down. Riser has... Yeah, that's... He's down to 7 probes. He has no units. Riser, in 5 minutes flat, Aspect will wipe him off his own map. Press F to pay respect. It is Memorial Day. Riser's down. Riser's out. Now there's 7. Gemini struggling. I heard a... What? Surprise! Deku comes in, insult to injury. Gemini, how could this happen? Surprise, there's a battlecruiser, but Stalker's actually pretty good against battlecruisers, so... Stalkers with a shield battery. Gemini having a real tough time. Eggs is solidifying. He's got 4 bases already. I don't know what's happened. He's done some solid diplomacy. I haven't been able to follow along. Gemini's pretty much out of there. And on this map, you get such an advantage for taking out the other player in your quadrant. Aspect, especially as a Zerg, when you can expand so quickly and ramp up that production. I don't know why Deku decided he was going to jump all the way across the map. Were there some unholy alliances made here? He hasn't even talked. Like... Because I'm coming for you. Sorry, Gemini, I picked a random base. At least he explains the situation. Don't believe Eggs. He's going mass infestors. As the resident fact checker and observer cam user, I rate that statement as mostly true. As we've seen in the past, a very successful strategy. You're going mass carrier, says Eggs. No, Gemini is going to leave the game eventually. That's what he's going to do. Yeah. Sooner rather than later. He's out of here. This leaves us... Well, there... Okay. The other Terran is Ruff. Has he lost anything? Ruff is the only player in the match so far to not suffer any losses. I think that's about to change. Ruff, last chance. Go back, says Eggs. Can he back up those threats? Yes. Yes, he can. Ruff just sees that as an invitation to continue the attack. I feel like Eggs has enough units. He's going to lose a base here, but can Ruff actually continue to push forward? There's no other major engagements. There's some hot battlecruiser on Stalker action, but will Ruff actually be able to back this up? Where's the anti-armor missiles? The Roaches and Ravagers come down the ramp, easily getting on top of the tanks, but the turrets will help hold. The lack of anti-armor missile is really hurting. The tanks will be cleared up. Get off the phone, Mom! I can't pause. These are pro gamers. Ruff will be beaten back. I don't think Eggs has the momentum. He didn't crush it. He traded it out. He lost a base. He has DTs coming in the other side. So Ruff dealt a heavy blow, but didn't nearly kill him. Scans across the board, mostly from Deku, I believe. I hear Yamato cannons. Looking at the Void Rays, not quite enough to kill them. Plenty of shield batteries. The debris still down. Not that many round units are involved. He charges up the Void Rays. A day late and a dollar short. Suddenly, wait, what? Rise has Stalkers. He's only got 2 base. He's roaming around with Blank Stalkers. Kind of fighting a bit of a proxy war here as he's hardwalled himself out. In the center of the map is a watchtower, not the bases we're sometimes used to, but there are gold bases around the inner circle. I actually didn't realize that. That's a cool design. They have normal minerals, but instead of one player in the center controlling all, we just have a more cramped area with valuable bases. Especially as the game, like the bases start mining out around the edges. Oh, with rich Vespine geysers, yes. Which means they mine double the amount. Very important for late game. Rise may be overstepping here. The battlecruiser still challenging Black Sheep. What are the supplies down here? Deku is at 145. Black Sheep only at 90. He's been taking some hits. The Yamato, a next wave of Yamato cannons comes through. And suddenly, the Void Rays are gone. The battlecruisers outnumber the Stalkers. That's not a good sign for the Protoss. Aspect, angered by the previous action, force fields across the board. He's not going to be able to get through. Doesn't have a single Ravager. Unfortunately, he got a lot of the Roaches up. He needs to get more force fields. He only got one. There's no more sentries. The Zerg are coming. And they're angry. Really? 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 I don't know. No super pylon there. The Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra, the unenthusiastic hand job of unit compositions, alright? It ain't classy, it ain't great, but it gets the job done. Rise is trying to micro his way out of this, but if he blinks incorrectly, it's all gonna be over. The battlecruisers just... He's tearing through he jumps on top! Does he have Yamato? He doesn't. The Tempests just kind of walk away, but they can't run forever. Rise has to cancel some of his only upgrades. I feel like he kind of woke the dragon there a little bit. Like, there was no reason he needed to go all the way across the map and attack Aspect. He brought this on himself. And that's going to leave us in a kind of odd scenario. He's trying to break out, but he's caught between a rock and a hard place. Some of the probes will escape. He's seen the corpse of Protosses in the past. In fact, we may have eliminated Protoss from this game. Every Protoss seems to, like, we have Rise is a refugee, Gemini is dead, Black Sheep is getting battle cruised right now, Riser's already gone. It looks like in this scenario, Zerg beats Protoss. Oh, the fog goes across the board, but anti-armor missile against the Broodlords. Ruff engages Eggs again. Does he have the numbers? He needs to beat the Broodlords. Microing the Vikings back. Target fire is there. The tanks stand. There's a Thor underneath as well. Eggs is trying to hold the line, but Ruff seems to have the number of Vikings he needs to get through all of this. The anti-air very lacking at the moment. The Vikings are on the chase. Infested Terrans are dangerous. 2-1 is done. The Vikings have just +2 armor. But if he kills all the Broodlords, then the tanks can start really pushing through. He needs to micro away from the infested Terrans. The Broodlord's not going down easy. Do they have? They have +1 Carapace. Okay. But the Thor comes up. Thor goes out. You can't explain that. Unfortunately for Ruff, though, DTs have eviscerated one of his bases. He's down to 77 supply. Only has 4 Thors and 33 workers. Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. Just build the big robots and hope for the best. Unfortunately, now Eggs, with his 5 or 6 base, Lucky Protoss is hitting me. Yeah, Rise, by the way, he wasn't even mining. He just comes in. He's taking swings at whoever he can see. Unfortunately for Ruff, that means his economy has been gutted, and he wasn't able to break Eggs. The eggs did not crack. Aspect not really taking full advantage of the fact he's essentially alone on the top half of the map. How is Rise still alive? How did Aspect not outright kill him? Black Sheep also still technically in the game. I'm not sure how that's happening. Deku looking pretty good. He's got near max supply of battlecruiser. Eggs is doing pretty well as well. He's got the rich Vespine. He's got infestors. Looking pretty good on the upgrades. Aspect sees the fleet. He's like, yeah, I probably need to get rid of these roaches. Roaches are not going to be cutting it. So Deku is flanked. The what? Oh my, yeah, well, yeah. What are the upgrades? He's got just +1. Oh my, yeah, well, that's one way to get rid of roaches. Rise still has a few random Dark Templar. They will destroy a base of Aspect. Eggs is clearing out the corpse of Gemini. Rise is just trying to kind of start from the beginning. He's been very annoying to several... Wait. Eggs! He does what Deku could not. He steals the Tempest away with Neural Parasite. Some of the best Zerg units are Protoss units, he agrees. Deku has angered Aspect, woke the Deku Dragon, just like Rise woke the Aspect Dragon, and suddenly the fleet is here for revenge. He's got nothing. He can't stop these battle cruisers. What's happening? Is Ruff making... I want that base. Chill. Heart. Ruff realizing diplomacy is probably his best option at this stage. He's a little boxed in. Chill, son. I don't feel like Deku's gonna chill. I feel like he has no chill. And very quickly we have established the front runners in this match. Deku and Eggs. Ruff has been allowed to survive, and he's got Mass Thor with 3/3 upgrades. So don't sleep on Ruff. I've made that mistake in the past. Don't sleep on Ruff. Because those Thors are surprisingly good. The only issue here is Infestors with Neural Parasite. Okay, well, Black Sheep has stood against Terran and Zerg for quite a while, but the firstborn will not be the last out. Another Protoss bites the dust. Well, Rise is rebuilt. He's got to calm down and stop getting people angry at him. Suddenly, Eggs and Deku starting to really scout one another. Deku has Scan, which is essentially map hack. The battle cruiser's neural parasited, but if he doesn't have enough neural parasites, then the infestors can just be targeted down. Well, the battle cruisers are dragged into the spores, but will that be enough? They have 2-2 done. Don't underestimate the power of Terran capital ships. It looks like the spore crawlers are helping out. Deku brought down Sightly and Supply. The Planetary is holding the line against the Broodlords. Does he have enough anti-air? Rise, stop it. There's still some battle cruisers. Aspect is saved by the fact that Eggs attacked from the south. Eggs is, at this point, he's played in like 5 of these. He seems to have a lot of experience in how to play it out. A little bit of diplomacy early on, make friends with those who were recently your enemies, and set your sights on the bigger target. He even though Ruff has wronged him in the past, he's like, alright, we have an agreement. He knows Ruff is bruised, but he's not out of it. So he makes friends with him in time to kill the battle cruisers. His sights will set on Ruff. But it looks like Deku has been forced to retreat outside of the inner circle. And Eggs will be the only player with control of those valuable gold and rich Vespine bases. What is happening here? Rise has Blink DTs, and Aspect has been left incredibly... like, he has no minerals. This is his only base. Rise, wait a second. From the ashes, he has rebuilt. He's nearly at 100 supply, and Aspect has nothing to stop him. Oh, the Banelings! Wow, this is scorched earth policy. The Banelings kill the DTs. They don't need to see them to stop them. Not all the DTs, but many of them. Eggs cleared these bases out a while ago. Ruff is kind of tucked into his corner, but he's building up a bank. He's got a lot of units. And he actually has 66 SCVs. I thought he had less than that. He rebuilt pretty quickly. Not to BC. Yo, Eggs, come save me. From who? Rise. Rise has been very quiet. From the shadows with the Dark Templar. What he has. DTs. I'm dead, dude. WTF. That at one point was true. No longer nearly as accurate. The refugee drone, like, Aspect has no minerals and no hatcheries. Aspect has no propositions for winning this game.
Clever.
No, not that clever. Ruff. Oh, the Terran Alliance? Oh, here we go. Here we go again. We should combine our BCs. He doesn't have BCs. For the first time, we have a Terran that doesn't just sit there and turtle BCs. I truce Ruff a long time ago. Has that truce expired? So, Ruff has to make a decision. Eggs is obviously gonna be tough to kill. But he's also right next to him. Why are you so scared? Eggs is... Rise! Why? Why would you do this, Rise? I'm pretty sure Ruff was typing something. Rise is playing some dirty Protoss. He knows Ruff is probably typing at this moment. I'm not sure how much that factored in, but we're gonna pretend it did. And he comes in with the DTs and just snipes a planetary in the middle of nowhere. Rise doesn't discriminate. I feel like this is... The thing is, he's so far away from Eggs. He's about the furthest you could be. That Eggs will have to commit a dramatic amount of units to actually... Oh my god. Aspect is peeing all over Deku's base. Rise has been going around killing random things with DTs for so long. He tried Blink Stalkers. That didn't pan out. So he's tried Blink DTs, and he's found much greater success. But he's really got to stop getting people all rustled up at him, or he's never going to be able to rebuild. Aspect is running out of buildings. He still has extractors. Deku has rebuilt. He is maxed out with VCs and Widow Mines. Eggs has enough to beat a tank. Like, Infestors, in a straight-up fight, can beat almost any army composition with correct control. But they are pretty fragile. Now, this is the downside of Widow Mines, is the Broodlings just trigger them all, and then suddenly they're worthless. Rise, with his roving band of Dark Templar, he does not discriminate. He will kill everyone. He's the last Protoss. Okay. Oh my god. Aspect refusing to give up. Rise has protected his bases pretty well against Corruptors. Aspect is spreading his creep for what it's worth. Once again, the inner circle is reclaimed. Eggs not allowing anyone to have those gold bases. He's actually expanding on the corpse of Black Sheep. His units frozen. After you leave the game, your units no longer attack. Fun fact, that's what's happening there. Rise! Stop. He does not stop. How many DTs does he have? There's a nuke for Ruff, by the way. 22 DTs. He's losing them to a planetary. But... So here's the difference between this Riser's Winter Wonderland and any of the maps we've had before from the past. This was designed with a full 8 players who are capable of macro in mind. There are so many bases. Of course, that means it's a lot harder to keep track of where the DTs are, but I'm not even gonna try to count the bases. Somebody can do that, but they do mine out relatively quickly, especially with these high economies. This many workers, but that's a lot to keep track of. Eggs has like 8 bases. Ruff actually has 4 or 5 with some backup orbitals here. So actually, I don't know how many commands. He's got 9 orbital commands and 4 planetaries. Ruff has 13. Eggs has 7 hatcheries and a hive, so 8. So Ruff actually has the most. Have the most. Okay, use your words. But Deku has the fleet. The upgrades are getting close to maxed out for most players except Rise, who was beaten down a while ago. Aspect, once again, still in the game, but is he? The bases are starting to mine out, and these are just energy-based units. If he's fighting against energy, he will eventually lose that battle. Scans across the board for Deku, just trying to keep track of things. DTs, just being annoying. I feel like Rise looking to actually finish off Aspect. And the thing is, there wasn't much mining. This was Riser's base. But he died to Aspect. Aspect then died to Deku, despite almost killing Rise. And now Aspect is a dead man, corruptor peeing on everything. So that means Rise has access to relatively fresh bases of players that have been beat up and knocked down. And that puts him in a weird position, because he's the only player in the northern half of the map. Ruff is slowly expanding there. Eggs and Deku have both made efforts, but Rise has this just buffer zone. DT swams. The dumb version of swarms. So I'm interested to see what Rise does with this. He continues attacking. This is definitely a new tactic. And very dangerous one. He just continues attacking with large amounts of ground units. It's very rare at this stage. Aspect, what are you doing here? What are you doing, Aspect? He's just trying to keep people distracted from the fact he has no buildings. Eggs gives him a pass. The Zerg Alliance, the racial lines have been drawn once again. Egg's a big fan of supporting fellow Zergs, especially when they are absolutely no threat to him. The DTs caught by Fungal. They can't blink. He recalls. What a play!
What a save!
Rise, realizing the situation. You can't blink when you're Fungal, but you can recall. His main is wide open. Wink, wink. You have 200 BCs. Not technically possible. He has 17 BCs, which is nearly 200 supply of them. He's getting rapid reignition systems. The map's starting to dry up, but there are still a lot of open bases. Is the game laggy? No more than usual. Like, we have 3 to 4 maxed out players spamming a bunch of energy-based units. Like, you're gonna have Starcraft is not designed for this. In fact, like, it's a little better than usual, because the map was designed with a minimum of frills, I guess, that some maps do have. I'm sure the players are having it worse. Oh my god, Rise. He's just... Aspect, he still has extractors. He's still microing. The infestors are coming up. He's trying to... Deku has lost a lot, but the battlecruisers come in. Killing units, permanently killing units, is very important at this stage. He needs to do... Eggs has 12.3 thousand minerals and 8.3k gas. And he's mining from multiple gold things, but guess what? Here comes Rise! The DT swams come in again. And they will save Deku from the continued efforts of Eggs. As Eggs just continues forward, he's finding infestors, slicing him up easily. There is a spore crawler, but he's going for the tech. Eggs is in full retreat. There's very little... Oh my god. Egg, while he does have a bank, this is very like the infestation pit. There's the fuck on the recall! He gets most of them out. He got the Greater Spire, the infestation pit, and suddenly Eggs beset on all sides. Aspect, are you kidding me? Why? He's torn back and forth. The Terrans and Protoss making things so difficult. Will Aspect finally... Are there any Yamatos? There are... Rise has been a massive DT Psyblade, Warp Blade / Scythe. Which one is better? The eternal question. People are always asking. The people want to know. What do you think, Winter? The dagger DTs or the Scythe DTs? I mean, there are a bunch of skins for DTs and all that too. But I gotta say, as an expert. Of course, the Scythe DTs. Come on. Don't be silly here. Oh, the battle cruisers, they were stolen, but they are able to jump and get a backstab Yamato. They're gonna take a lot of losses, though. Anti-armor missile is good, but not if you have nothing to shoot at him. Chill, bro, I don't attack you. Aspect is down to 2 buildings, I believe. He has 2 extractors. That's it. Rise is slowly expanding over the former bases of many of his opponents. Deku's driven back. He's down to 100 supply. He's got next to no money. Eggs may have finished him. The problem is all the damage that Rise did to Eggs. He has 12k, 8k in the bank. Ruff has more. He has more gas, and it's gonna come down to the gas. You've gooped your last Nexus, says Rise. You've gooped your last Nexus, says Rise. Words of a killer. As the Corruptors... Wait. There's still... Well, has he gooped his last Nexus? That is the question. Rise may... There is no detection. If Rise wanted to kill his buildings, he could. An aspect could be eliminated. Does Deku? Deku is down, and he may be out. He has no bank. He has no battle cruisers. He has no hope and no allies. Rise is coming in, scavenging, looking for scraps. He's gonna find them. Is there even a scan? No. Deku has sparred with Eggs for so long, but no longer. Ruff has successfully retreated into his natural state, tucked into a turtle shell. He has maxed out, fully upgraded, massive bank, tons of planetaries, Ghost, Raven, Thor. Eggs, upon finishing Deku, initiates diplomatic contact with Ruff. Ruff, does he respond? You can Eggs to us, who see the whole map. We know exactly what Eggs is doing. Let's dispel with the rumor that Eggs does not know what he's doing. There was one of each. Well, technically, Aspect and Deku are still in the game, but... What? Oh, that was a very optimistic blink. Okay. There's, Eggs for the Zerg. Rise, who has survived and continued to strike back for the Protoss, and Ruff of the Terrans. Pick your sides, pick your corners. Eggs has access to like 70% of the map, but Rise has been mining comfortably. Deku is down. We're in the final 4. Technically, Aspect is still in the game. Very technically. But, Eggs has established most of the inner circle, but here comes Rise again with the deets. Will the Terran and Protoss go full kumbaya handhold moment, just like the Legacy of the Void campaign? Spoilers. Or will they be at each other's throats, like the Brood War campaign? Also spoilers. Ruff has 20,000 minerals in the bank, and no signs of slowing down. All those scans are from Ruff as he sees Eggs finally clearing up the corp. There's still so many minerals left over. Aspect still technically in the game. Oh my god, stop with this. Every scan. I want my audio pack for every scan instead. I feel like he's just doing it to annoy people now. I don't even know. Let's go to the Ruff cam.
Mineral field depleted. Vespine geyser exhausted. Base is under attack.
You've gooped your last refinery. Aspect comes in. Why are there... Okay. Ruff is setting his sights in this direction. This is... Oh my god. Stop with the skids! Ruff, I'm moving on Rise. Does Ruff have enough production? He's got 10 starports and 7 factories. I don't think that's enough. What about Rise? Rise only, and I stress this, only has 13 gates and 4 robos. Not even a single Stargate, which I think is a poor long-term strategy, but Rise has been playing the... He successfully gooped the command center! How many kills did the... I don't even know if those count. Rise comes in with the DTs! A classic tactic. He recalls out. So... Then we're essentially... Now, this isn't technically accurate, but it's practically accurate. We got a top 3 situation. Aspect is still in the game because these 2 extractors have not been killed. Ruff is moving on Rise. He hasn't broken his alliance with Eggs yet. I feel like not striking at Eggs is a critical mistake from both these players. Like, Rise needs to be a little... He's been... Has Rise... spent all his diplomatic capital by sniping dozens of bases with DTs. Like, even if he reached out in friendship to Ruff, would Ruff respond in kind? Eggs has played the diplomacy game so well. And that's put him in a position where now he has, like, half of the map. And it is one of the largest maps in the history of StarCraft 2. So, stop with it. Oh my god. At some point, I'm just going to hear the scan sound every 5 seconds in my sleep. How does he... He sees the whole map. He sees everything. Everybody just try to tune it out. There's nothing else to be done. Yeah, Black Sheep, the red player, left a while ago, but his buildings remain. Ancient ruins. So, now what? Now what? Stop. Oh my god, I'm losing it! Is Deku still... No, Deku left. He left the game. Ruff has almost 20,000 gas in the bank. This is more gas than has been mined in the entirety of the Silver League this season. You're not looking too good, Rise. Ruff says after scanning his whole base. 50k, 50k. That is false. That is a lie. He has 15k, 9k. Nothing to sneeze at. Oh god, this army does not do it. Like, this army does not cut this. Rise has refused. He's just now getting a Twilight. Wait, what? Does he not have a Twilight? He does. He does. He's getting a backup Twilight. Oh wait, that might have been the Twilight he just built. I don't know. But Blink Stalker Immortal does not beat Broodlord and Fester. It just doesn't. You need to stop it. The DTs get slaughtered by Widow Mines on a planetary. Ruff, make sure. How many orbitals? He has 16 orbitals. I'm not going to do the math on that. It takes about 65 seconds to come up with the energy for a scan. Scan lasts like 10 seconds. So, what that means is he has approximately 1 fuck ton of scans. I'm actually very interested, because the Ghost Thor with that much of a bank, Eggs, I know, it sounds insane. These armies, the army values, Eggs' army is worth more than his bank. Everyone else is far under their bank. So, I'm actually very interested. He's like, well, you can have the base, but I'm going to take the minerals. Rise is fighting this out. It's not well, the feedbacks are actually pretty good. Immortals are good units, but are they good enough? The minerals are just gone here. They're coming back for some more minerals. The Broodlords are like, wait a second. What's happening here? Where are the probes going? What is happening? He's gonna just make everyone go insane by the scan noise. I give you that base and peace, okay? Wait, who's he talking to? Eggs? We can't, no, you can't solve this by just forming an alliance. This is why there are no, alliances left. Wait, who are they talking? The Zergs are just bugs. Easy. Compelling argument from Rise. You can't just kumbaya, be like, we all are friends now. Can we all win and split the prize? No! No! There must be losers! We allied in SC1 and SC2 story. Technically correct. Breaking out the references here. The historical precedent. But much like many of the Protoss plotlines, especially from the characters who are friendly as opposed to unfriendly, it's very thin. The only cool Protoss are the Dark Protoss, okay? You got your Zeratul, rest in peace, and your Alarak. That's about it. Yeah, that's it. But, well, I guess Tassadar, too. The Tassadar's dead. Vorazun. So, Vorazun is like... Zeratul and Vorazun are not related, right? Not all Dark Templar are related. They all look the same. Are you backstabbing me? How can anyone backstab you? You have a constant scan of the entire map. I'm running from Rise. Really? I value our new alliance, Ruff. I feel like this is a unilateral agreement. We all fight a three-way battle in the middle. Ruff with a massive bank he knows probably outstrip. TV's EVP. Well, the thing is, Eggs has the entirety of the middle. So, it's really a battle against Eggs. Ruff is just finding another way to say it. Eggs has not agreed to this battle royale, if you would. They both have more money in the bank than they ever see in a 1v1 game. Eggs, please. Why would Eggs agree to this? Like, he has no reason to agree to this. I mean, whether he agrees to it or not, this is what's going to happen eventually anyways. It's just a matter of how coordinated Ruff and Rise are. Even though Ruff has a massive bank, both Rise and Ruff, by the way, it's getting very hard to say these names over and over, and Eggs, all these technically words but not really names. Oh my god, incredible fungals. What was I even saying? Like, Broodlord, they both, I'm sure both Rise and Ruff have nightmares of facing Broodlord and Fester. And this is the most well-established, well-upgraded, well-reinforced Broodlord and Fester army maybe they've ever seen. Stop with the goddamn scan! Holy... Ah! I'm losing it. Has he still not made a Stargate? He has not given in. Rise has not made a Stargate, and I'm sure he's going to regret that eventually. How many factories? There are 7 factories and 10 starports. I still stand by. He's got 40,000 minerals. Oh my god. Eggs is actually spending his money in this constant battle against Rise. There is a temporary trade agreement between the Terran and Protoss. Unfortunately, the Zerg were not on board. Technically correct. He does have 60k. It is split between minerals and gas. Here's the thing. If Rise thinks that's 60k minerals, that's actually less scary than 41k minerals and 27,000 gas. That is less scary. The Venn Diascans. Pretty soon we'll have the Venn Triascans and beyond. Ruff is upgrading 3-3 for his Ghost at the 47-minute mark. Good Remax, Rise. Rise? He's at 106 supply. I feel like... I don't even know what Rise is trying to do now. He's not... Like, he has the money. He can rebuild. What? Wait, what? Why here? Rise builds... I mean... This is happening. Eggs has, like, 70% of the map at this point, but he doesn't have the money. Territory does not necessarily translate into resources. But he does... How many spines and spores? 34 spines, 17 spores. Rise has only 11 cannons left. That's a lot less than I thought. He's back to the deets. If he can get the literal jump on all the infestors, then... I mean, like, what's the follow-up, though? Oh, Jesus Christ. This is why Terran shouldn't be allowed to go to the late game. Not because of their units. Yeah, is Aspect still in the game? He doesn't have... He has 3 Corruptors. He's still in the game. Still, we technically have 4 players. He could sneak a 3rd, depending on what happens here. Yeah, 5 Stalkers are not going to counter a dozen Broodlords and Infestors. I'm sorry, Rise. That's not how StarCraft works. Now, he does have a ton of Dark Templar. He could morph them into Archons, or he could add some High Templar. And thankfully for the Protoss, in 2010, the Protoss finally embraced Inter-Templar merging, so that High Templar and Dark Templar could merge together into a singular Archon. From 1998 all the way till 2010, they had to remain separate. Dark Templar become Dark Archons, High Templar Archons, but finally we embraced just all Templar can become Archons together. So Protoss getting with the times. Though some might want Dark Archons back, to be honest. Mind Control would be very nice right now for Rise. But he doesn't even have unit control if those fungals land. The scans continue. Eggs is building up a bank, but Ruff still has half a map of resources in the bank. Rise is warping in zealots, and they're working. The infestors are on the way across. So, guys, you remember what a Stargate is? Sleepy. They can't see that. You're in observer's chat. Egg Zerglings are killing Rise's base. These are Aspect's 2 last buildings, and he's essentially powerless. Okay, the DT saves it. Eggs is working through the bases. The gas is already mined out. You've gooped your last Nexus, but that was a lie. Aspect comes in again. Getting his goop on. He will back off. There are 79 Dark Templar and 20 Zealots. That is Rise's army. The problem here, Dark Templar, not great at killing Broodlords. Pretty good at killing almost everything else, though. They do have Blink. They got 333 upgrades. Everybody's fully... Nuclear launch detected! I can't believe it took this long. Everybody... You know how many bases that Rise, who has now walled off the top of this ramp, has to check? But Eggs finds it. Nukes launching across the board. This was the inevitable conclusion. The war reached a stalemate, and he had to escalate. Everybody, you know how... I'm gonna go to the Rise action cam here. I mean, not Rise, Eggs. Where is it? There you go. I want to see. He's checking. Oh, the attack begins. The Thors follow up the Ghost, but the Snipes are there. He's able to steal a Thor, but he gets behind the EMPs on the Infestors. There's nothing to protect the Broods. Ruff makes his move. The nukes opened up the opportunity, and the Thors stepped through the massive door. Rise is gutting the base. The Terran and the Protoss. They might not even realize they're coordinating, but they are. But Eggs turns the Ravens against Ruff. The anti-armor missiles all over the Thors. The infested Terrans will block the way, but there are no Broodlords to back them up. Too little, too late. But at the same time, Rise is gutting the base. He's taking this opportunity. He's left unchecked. Zerglings become relevant once again. Does he have adrenal glands? He doesn't. A bit of a mistake there. 15 Broodlords. He has to hold. He has to hold the line. The Zealots are going through, gutting his tech. If he loses all his tech too quickly, Ruff is punching through the base. Eggs easily able to remax, but he has the money. But what he doesn't necessarily have is time. The Thors are blasting through the inner circle, but most of the bases have been mined out by Eggs. There's still a bit of gas left over here, but the Broodlords, the second wave of Zerg, the swarm is angry, and the Thors will eventually be knocked over. Has the damage been done? This Ruff will meet Rise for one of the first times, but he's meeting him on the opposite side of the map in a very odd scenario that he might not even realize yet. The Thors with a couple Tectoboys pushing through. Eggs is scrambling to handle all of this. He's got a bunch of Zerglings, which actually might be the best response. A secondary, I don't know how many Greater Spires have been lost, but another one will be going down. The Zerglings get the surround. The Thors have a lot of armor, but eventually will crumble. They're blasting through. Eggs doesn't really need the bases. He's gonna mine. Ruff says, I will take those minerals, thank you very much. The meal's pretty good at cleaning things up. I don't know how many SCVs. He's down to 41. Eggs has 15 drones. Rise has 2 probes. Wait, what? Excuse me. But what is his army? 79 Dark Templar. Don't question him. He's out of gas. He's literally out of gas. A nuclear launch is detected. Yo, Eggs. Oh, no, Eggs, Aspect is gone. He's out of there. Aspect realizing 50 minutes later, his extractors, and now we're truly in a top 3 situation. But Rise has no gas. Literally, not figuratively. Eggs' base has been gutted by the combined efforts of Terran and Protoss. The nukes continue to push Eggs back, but does he have any home to go back to? This nuke. The Broodlord's in a precarious position. It looks like Egg spots it. But the map has been cleared. The creep tumors, that's an expensive but effective way to clear creep tumors. The Thors will find a Broodlord or two, making it not a terrible trade. Ooh, the Thors get cleared up. But Ruff has that bank to rely on. So suddenly the dynamic has changed. Quite a warp in Legacy of the Void cinematic worthy as we play out this storyline to fight the Zerg. The only two probes of Rise are at the Watchtower. Why are you here? They will pass by the ghosts that are launching nukes. A storied career. The Nexus gooping continues. Is there any anti-air? He warps in one stalker with his last gas. The nukes are landing. He could build Archons. The one stalker will fight. Does he build any Archons? He hasn't given in yet. The Zealots are going to work. Eggs is quickly running out of buildings, which is an interesting concern to have. Ruff is in a... He's in a fine position. Ruff is... This is just like a normal 1v1. Hour-long, Thor Ghost, tons of money in the bank, bunch of planetaries. It's another day at the office for Ruff. I know from, unfortunately, very direct experience. Eggs has lost 92,000 resources. $78 Dark Templar, all moving together. How many infestors are left? 28 infestors. The Thors are once again as the forces of the Eastern Terran. Oh my. I mean, that's all of his gas. His army is worth 9,800 gas, and it is entirely... Oh, those ghosts never saw it coming. The scan a little bit late. But if the ghosts are able to cloak, they will counter the cloak of the DTs. That's a lie. He actively did that, but the Thors are turned against their own. One of the best Zerg units, Thors, as they beat each other down until the last second. Ruff will have to expend some of his bank rebuilding. He's down under 20k gas. Now, here's the thing. It could come down to the minerals. It could come down to Marines. Because after the nukes fly and the Thors are turned against one another, you get back to basics. And by that I mean just minerals. He's already building Hellions. Not a bad counter. It's almost like a direct strike game at this point, where money is no object. They're just trying to figure out the best counters here. And the counter to Thors is indeed, once again, Thors. Who would have thought? There's a DT. I don't know where it is. There's one DT and one observer. He literally does not have the resources to make another observer, so he has to be pretty careful with that. Yeah, that's happening. Still no adrenal glands, which is a massive DPS. 40% increase in attack speed is adrenal glands for those Zerglings. It's huge, especially against things like Thors and buildings. It's the single biggest DPS upgrade for Zerglings. Not that that's a huge concern. He can build a lot of Zerglings. His base is easily burned down by the Hellbats Thor. I mean, Ruff is continuing to expand. Are we going to mine out the largest map in essentially StarCraft 2 history? Another hive. Taken down. We're getting there. Thanks to mules. This pylon, this Artosis pylon, I don't know if it's walled off, but it's close. Rise is clearing up creep tumors. He's gotta be very careful. The creep sweeper. Get those tumors out of here. How many drones does Eggs have? He's back up to 35. He's rebuilding a lair. Ruff has I don't even want to know how much. He still has income at all. Rise has 78 Dark Templar, 0 probes, 1 observer, and 1 stalker. So Rise at this point literally can't even kill flying buildings. And if he loses his Nexi, he can't rebuild probes. Trust me. He hasn't really engendered trust throughout this match. I need passage. The Templar. If he could just... The Templar ask for passage for military access to Ruff's territory. He can't really help the planetaries very much. You gotta... Well, I mean, like, maybe don't scan them? I don't... Wait, are those... Oh, no! Who called in the fleet? I didn't even notice! 22 battle cruisers! With full upgrades? Of course. I didn't even know what he was rebuilding. There's so much. The DTs will, they will lose some to attrition here. But the battle cruisers have arrived. 4 command centers. At least one of them will make it. How many infestors? Now, the problem with infestors is if you don't have enough, the battle cruisers will just target them down before the neurals. Well, the ghosts are underneath. He's got to be very careful. Are the snipes there? This Terran army, is eggs maxed? Essentially, yes, but the DTs. A nuclear missile. The problem is, at this point, Rise doesn't realize it, but Ruff is the biggest threat. Now, what is Ruff gonna... What is he gonna do? He can't kill battle cruisers, but, Eggs is not. Ruff has this game, says Rise. I think he's starting to realize how few bases Eggs has and what kind of army Ruff does. He noticed. He noticed the infrastructure. But Rise has been killing hatcheries this whole game. Eggs is running out of resources. He's slowly clearing out Rise's base. Rise is used to it. Rise started... Was it here? Rise started here. Ruff here. Egg started here. So that's... But now we're here. 1 hour, 3 minutes. And it's still not a foregone conclusion, because Egg still has a lot of money in the bank. He has infestors. And Rise can still act as quite a spoiler. Massive fungal, he gets the recall, but he keeps most of the... He can't replace those. Immediate recall, great reaction speed on Rise, but he loses a lot of his DTs. He's down to only 44. Unfortunately, the recall will put him right next to Eggs' fresh base. Well, not that fresh, because the gas is mined out, but... So Eggs will have to... Eggs doesn't have, like, a Nidus to teleport across the map. The Cape Boys will continue their efforts despite diminished numbers. 7 nukes in the tank for Ruff. He's built some forward outposts. The TPM continues to raise. He is, for maybe the first time, moving through the center of the map. The armies ready to fight head-on. Massive armies from both sides. Battle cruisers against broodlords and infestors. The ghosts underneath. A big, important sticking point. He's chasing them. The DT is a constant annoyance. The broodlords are exposed, but the ghosts, they try to get the EMPs. Does he get enough? He needs to turn them around. The ghosts are in a weird position. It's unclear exactly what's happening right now. How many neurals are there? Are there enough corruptors? There are so many infested Terrans. He jumps the battle cruisers out. He admits defeat. He doesn't even micro them. He just scrambles to get away. It appears Eggs takes at least a moral victory. Oh, the Archons! Surprise! Power is overwhelming. How many infestors? He lost so many infestors. You know what? He didn't admit defeat. It wasn't a defeat. He killed almost all of the infestors. And now the Archons come in, doing extra damage. Eggs being cracked from both sides. Players very adamant about not letting him win. again, or at least finish in second. I don't know. He wasn't even second last time, but it felt like it. Eggs has to expend much of his bank. I'm not sure how many battle cruisers went down for Ruff, but Ruff has lost half as much throughout this match as Eggs has. The Archon squad here. Where'd all the infestors go? Very good question. They went to hell. Eggs trying to figure out. They got barbecued. Indeed they did. Oh, God, the Cape Boy! The Cape Boy two-shotting Infestus! He gets 2 more. Eggs is starting to feel strapped for gas. Eggs has not made a comment in quite a while. This is true. Rise. For this entire game, he's acted like the rap battle hype man for pretty much everyone else. Sniping bases, getting excited, making dramatic comments with varied amounts of capital letters, but really never at any point the star of the show. Just a constant annoyance. He is mining again. The Terran Protoss Alliance. Rise is mining again. But he has no money. He's at 84 supply. The ghosts are underneath. The constant scans. Does Eggs have what it takes? He doesn't have enough money to refill his army again. If he loses another fight, he loses the war. Ruff has played his cards beautifully at this point. Egg still has the most valuable army. That doesn't necessarily translate into anything. Oh, a couple battlecruisers are sniped immediately. There's nothing that kills the Corruptors incredibly quickly. The anti-armor missile, the Cheeto dusting, will force him to retreat. As that means the battlecruiser will have incredibly increased DPS. Ruff steals, he pickpockets some minerals from one of the last bases. The 4th or 5th or 6th Greater Spire will be built on the corpse of a base that is no longer... There's still a couple thousand gas in here. He's going to want to mine that. Deku, the last building of well, he had maybe a couple, but he left the game a long time ago. Rise is expanding to some of the inner circle. Eggs had it all claimed. He almost was able to put a lock on it. But there was just a tiny toehold. And now suddenly, he's really thinking hard about where he wants to commit his units. Because the resources, somehow on a map with, I'm going to take a wild guess and say 32 bases. We're almost mined out. I think it might even be more than that. It might be like 40. Yeah, Eggs, interestingly... That was a long while ago. We don't have timestamps, but Eggs has not made any comments in quite a while. He has no Zerg allies to feel comradeship. What is this? Smart servos, Hellbats. Ruff has he has a larger bank than obviously than everyone else combined, but he has a larger bank than all the armies on the map combined. And he's still mining. The Infestors are a kicker. The use of the Archons could be huge. If the Archons are able to actually kill ghosts, or at least distract them, if the only path towards victory, I think now, is for Rise and Eggs to turn on Ruff. For the Protoss and Zerg to go full hybrid. Oh my god, Ruff, are you... At the very... Even if the mules die, the minerals die with them. So Ruff is saying, if I can't have them, No one cares. I wonder how many minerals have been lost in this method. It's in the several thousands by now, at least. It's 30 per trip. So. Or is it 25 now? I forget what it is exactly now. It's a lot of minerals. Some of the rest of the boys have been pulled. He doesn't really want them. They're also partially for repair. These eggs will knock down Rise's base again. Rise is picking up whatever scraps he can. Eggs needs to ally with Rise. He doesn't know that. There's no way to tell him. That's against the rules. No private chats. Here comes Ruff. But if Rise and Eggs do not team up against Ruff, who has map hacks with scan and sensor tower, I do not foresee any chance of defeating the endgame Terran fleet. Now, interestingly, since Aspect left a while ago, but he still had the extractors, there's still some gas here. As these players are literally just clicking around like, oh, is there gas here? There's 900 here, 1,000 there. Eggs has 8,200 gas. The standoff continues. These units precious. Nuclear missiles launched again. Oh, the Queens. He sees it. Another nuke. He continues the push. Rise. Eggs is driven back. Rise is on the map. Under cover of nukes. Eggs is forced to stand against both. The Fungals will hold the Archons down. The Broodlords take advantage of the opportunity, but they aren't. The Archons are the sideshow. Another nuke. Where are the academies? Where are the academies? Oh my god, how many? Oh. Eggs retreats, but will a queen... No, it's dangerous out there. The map is dark. Full of Terrans. Eggs is going for an anti-armor missile. A Dorito dusting over everything. He tries to snipe. It's not gonna happen. Yamato cannon volley. He's just going. He's just going. More Yamatos. The Fungals, are they there? The neural parasites before the tactical jumps. This is huge. The ghosts are down. Everything is Egg's army. He jumps it onto itself to remove the cooldown. Everything is Egg's army. He needs to get those infestors out of there. He needs to get the infestors out. He turns it again. Eggs turns the battlecruisers against themselves. He takes them down before they can fire back, and suddenly Ruff is at 62 supply. The war of attrition will continue. Ruff will make 6 Thors. He's going to factory units. He needs more factories. He only has 7, which in any other game would be a ridiculous amount. Most infestors dead. YXQ. Like, whenever I see that, I'm like, did you misclick a D? No, it's not even close on the keyboard. But the Archons come in. Eggs, drunk on victory, underestimated the power of Protoss, and now suddenly will be losing much of his army to Archons. Remember what my people did, Ruff. Rise has resigned himself. He's giving up his army. He knows he'll lose the fight eventually. Or will he? Archons are really good. Wait a second. There's no detection for the infestors, but they're out of energy. Suddenly, Eggs will have to spend most of his bank because Rise's Archons just would not die. Eggs getting... Honestly, that was very lazy and sloppy there. To lose that much to the Archons, like, you didn't even need to fight that. You can just retreat behind your spines. The reinforcements come out. Like, if the infestors are gone. The infestors, they can turn each army against itself. That's the key here. Suddenly, the Terran and the Protoss are closing in. That's a lot of ghosts, Thors, Hellbats, some classical mech. Ruff has spent a lot of his bank, but Eggs has none left. This is it. He's out of minerals. The snipes are coming through. There aren't enough Broodlords. The Thors. The Hydras are helping. So there is a very... It doesn't look like it's going to happen. But I was about to mention a scenario where potentially Ruff loses enough killing Eggs that Rise can actually potentially win the game. Eggs makes a comment. He should have spoken up earlier. I really need the miney. I think he means literal money, not minerals. Oh, Eggs, not like this. Not like this. Where is the Eggs of yester battle? The Eggs that fought valiantly. Where did he go? It seems he retreated about 30 minutes ago in this match. Ruff is maxed out. There's less than 200, far less than 200 supply combined on the map. GG, Eggs taps it out. Rise, the spoiler, the hype man, stands alone against the Terran. Where you go? Rise is slaughtered. Wiped out by the Thor hammers. Ruff is your victor. The power of Terran compels you. Psystorm Gaming's Ruff takes it all the way and finishes the match with 19.5 thousand minerals, 6,200 gas in the bank. Hundreds of thousands of resources lost. Every base mined, and most of them mined out. On our new test map, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments or in the chat. Like and subscribe. We're going to be adding... So my idea for a map as well is have each quadrant, at least, if not every sector, be a different theme. Which some maps have had in the past, like winter theme, desert theme, lava theme. You've seen all the themes, but have all of that. I think that'd be pretty fun. But giving us a very dramatic... I think a map with this many bases is destined to be... well, it's almost impossible for the game to end in less than like 30 minutes. And even under an hour would be tough. But Ruff handled the diplomacy well enough. He comes out on top. He wins this Grandmaster Starcraft 2 Battle Royale. Once again, smash that like button, subscribe, all of that. I think we're doing a Patreon for it soon to support the players and the people doing the maps and all that. And of course, just by watching this, I get more money. So thank you for that. Unfortunately for Eggs, he does not. He was cracked. Actually, I think he gets a little bit, but not as much as he would get for winning. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Dricket. SC2 replay stats broke because it tried to handle it. Nope, that's going to be a no. See what you've done.